Hey guys, my name is Terri Fowler and I am blessed to lead our special needs ministry team here at Hope. I suspect that you're watching this video because you're involved in the life of someone who's impacted by special needs. I'm really glad that you're here. If you've been around Hope for a while, and especially if you've experienced Night to Shine, you've heard the verse from Psalm 139:14. Many of us have. It reads, "I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." I mean, this session uses that as a title after all. But God opened my eyes to the entire chapter one day when I was sitting in rural Belize with a young man impacted by special needs and frequent grand mal seizures. Looking back now, I see how beautiful that really was. In addition to his needs, he had a really tragic home life. Our interactions that day consisted of making silly noises back and forth with one another. I had actually opened my Bible to read verse 14 with him, but was prompted by the Holy Spirit to actually read the whole chapter. I may never know the comfort that this brought to him that day, but I have no doubt that God used it. I invite you to close your eyes and let this truth wash over you as I read. O Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you know it completely, O Lord. You hem me in, behind and before. You have laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light will become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created in my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. As parents, we guide and lead our children throughout their entire life. We don't lead them to ourselves, though. We lead them to know Jesus. That's why it's important for us to believe God's truths for ourselves and our own lives before we are able to help our children know and believe them for themselves. Listen, parenting is hard, period. Parenting a child or children with special needs adds a layer of challenges that not everyone is able to understand. I can't even fully understand it. With my passion and career, I have had experience serving families who have children with special needs. As a parent, I have experienced parenting my own two children through some really tough times. Only by clinging to God and His truth have my husband and I been able to walk through these things with our sanity intact, and even sometimes that's questionable. With that in mind, there are 3 significant, life-changing truths that I want to share because I believe that they'll impact the way that we parent and the way that we lead our children to Jesus. The first truth that I want you to hear is that our feelings are valid and they are no surprise to God. He invites us to pray to Him about everything. He is not shocked when we voice our feelings and thoughts to Him, even when they're negative. Even when there's something that we would never speak out loud to anyone because we know we shouldn't feel that way. God already knows them, even if we never speak them. Now, that doesn't mean He wants us to live in those thoughts and feelings, because sometimes that just isn't a healthy place or a godly place. However, there is no guilt or condemnation cast on us because of our feelings. He just wants to help us through them to a healthier place, a place of peace and faith and trust in Him. The second truth is that God created each of us in His perfect image for a purpose and to be in relationship with Him. God has given each of us unique gifts, and this is true of every human being on the planet, regardless of our ability level. As parents, it's our job to help our children see their gifts and fulfill their God-given purpose. Guys, God doesn't make mistakes. When He created us, He knew what we would experience in our lives and in our lives as parents. He chose us to parent the children that He has given us with our gifts, our flaws, and everything all together. The third truth that we'll dive into today is this: God has promised to never leave us or forsake us. So when the wheels fall off with another medical diagnosis, or when we are hit with some significant behavioral challenges, He is with us. God never told us that this life would be easy. In fact, we're told the opposite. But He does promise that He is with us during it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He has promised to equip us with exactly what we need. We just have to remember to turn to Him instead of trying to rely on ourselves. We are going to have doubts. We are going to have fears. Being responsible for another human being is going to do that to us. Those are the times when we have to lean into God. The reality of all of this is, when we believe these things and we know these truths about ourselves as individuals, we are better able as parents to lead and love the children that God has placed in our care. It starts with us. It starts with us modeling for our children. They see us praying when times are good and when times are hard. They see us asking forgiveness when we mess up. And in my house, that happens a lot. They see us believing that we are created in God's perfect image when the world around us wants us to believe that we are never good enough. They see us believing that God is with us in chaos, in tragedy, and in times of happiness. If our goal as parents is to lead our children to Jesus, it begins with us showing them how. This is not me as part of Hope Community Church saying, "All right, off you go, good luck." This is me as a fellow parent and part of Hope Community Church saying to you, you are not alone in this. We love you. Now I encourage you, let all of this sink in and go lead your children to Jesus. We are here for you.